The story begins a demon god was seen conversing with a demon who was on his knees in the demon god Lashin's hall. The demon god asked the demon if the medications were finished, to which the demon replied that they were. The demon god also inquired about Alterius's response from the demon in front of him, who responded that Alterius's response was that if the demon god had fun. Upon hearing this, the demon god ordered the demon to begin, and the demon left incontinently after entering the order. After that, a large round earth sphere appeared in front of the demon god as he darted his cutlet. A youthful man with black hair was seen approaching the demon that had before been given the order by the demon god. While brandishing a long brand, the youthful man charged at the demon as they disaccorded with their brands, creating an important shock force, but the demon was stunned by the position of power the youthful man held and they incontinently jumped back. The youthful man also asked the demon why humans were the bones to carry out the demon's wishes, but the demon replied that power defies sense and that the will of that bone was their asin. The youthful man still released important air as he wanted to end the battle right down. Upon seeing this, the demon was dumbfounded as he realized that he wasn't a match for him at all. Then he slashed at the demon, which caused a blood splurt. Also, he ended the demon's life with a deep brand stab at the casket of the demon's body, and as he recaptured a small grandiloquent sphere from the demon's dead body, he felt his strength growing. Also, he swore that he would kill the demon god. A troll was spotted looking around as the sun rose and shone brilliantly on the timber. Still, at that precise moment, a youthful man made a skulk attack on the troll with a cutter, killing it in the process. The youthful man had been there for 3 months and was worn out as he sat on a small gemstone smoking a cigarette and gaping at the sky. When he saw what it was, he came alert and pulled out his cutter to look around. Still, as he was looking around, a blade swished toward him, which he snappily avoided but which left a small cut on his impertinence. Soon later, another man entered, calling the youthful man by his name, Cha Moo-hyuk. He said he didn't know it was Cha Moo-hyuk and that he thought it was a monster. Cha Moo-hyuk then asked the man what he was doing there as the man pulled out another cigarette. However, the man asked Cha Moo-hyuk if he was still hunting the goblins and said that by the way he looked, he could tell that Cha Moo-hyuk is struggling. However, Cha Moo-hyuk told him not to worry about it as he lit up his cigarette, saying that he wondered why the man was here since the man said he was way past hunting goblin. However, the man took Cha Moo-hyuk's cigarette and crushed it. The man then punched Cha Moo-hyuk in the face, grabbed his collar, and yelled at him for smoking in front of him, for taking so long to stop, and for spreading the stench around. Cha Moo-hyuk responded by telling the man to fuck off, and the man became incensed and punched him in the stomach, causing Cha Moo-hyuk to collapse to the ground. The attacker, who goes by the name of Byung-chul, continued to beat Cha Moo-hyuk, accusing him of becoming conceited for a weak person and of forgetting how well he had treated him. Byung-chul then grabbed Cha Moo-hyuk's hair and slapped his face, causing him to bleed from the nose and fall to the ground once more. The next time Cha Moo-hyuk sees him, he should bow like he always had before, according to Byung-chul, who also referred to him as a loser before walking away. Cha Moo-hyuk wondered whether Byung-chul had really given up smoking after he left. He then turned his attention to the dead goblin and began dissecting it. After some time, he removed 6 eyes and teeth. They could sell a specific piece of the monsters they hunted at the location he was at in order to gain points. There are numerous uses for points, and they are even more significant than money, according to Cha Moo-hyuk, who carefully stowed the eyes and teeth in his bag. In that regard, goblins are the worst because only their eyes and teeth can be sold, and even then, for a pittance. However, it's also more difficult and expensive to capture them than anticipated. Even though Cha Moo-hyuk had been working extremely hard, he had been able to recover the core of the heart, a small shining green orb that could only be found in goblins in the area. Cha Moo-hyuk swallowed the core of the heart, which can be used to raise the status, but he had always been repulsed by its taste and smell. However, when he swallowed the goblin core, a system appeared. The system informed him that his strength had slightly increased permanently after he swallowed the goblin core, despite the fact that he didn't feel much, even though it wasn't as simple to advance as in a game due to the limited options and formidable obstacles. He was fortunate to be given the chance to do so with little effort. The world is structured similarly to that of a game, with elements like status and skill existing. In order to leave this location and exact revenge on whoever threw Cha Moo-hyuk there, he was determined to get stronger. But he remembered that he needed to get rid of the dead goblin that might hold the key to his development. Later that evening, Cha Moo-hyuk was seen strolling along a forest path as he made his way to the house. He entered and called out to his teacher, apologized for being late, lit a candle, and promised to prepare dinner. However, when he didn't hear back from his teacher, Cha Moo-hyuk became alarmed, believing that something had happened to his teacher. When Cha Moo-hyuk began tapping his teacher, Jeongmin, who was sleeping at the time, crying, Jeongmin quickly opened his eyes and looked at Cha Moo-hyuk. Jeongmin was furious with Cha Moo-hyuk for being loud and for thinking that his teacher was dead when he was only asleep. Jeongmin also told Cha Moo-hyuk that he was starving, to which Cha Moo-hyuk complied as He led his teacher to sit at a small table as he brought out a hamburger, telling Jiangmen that he was sorry that it had always been the same menu and that he would make something nice the next time. However, Jiangmen told him that he was fine with the food, and Cha Mu-hyuk began feeding him. After the meal, he lit up a cigarette for his teacher and himself, but Jiangmen told Cha Mu-hyuk that he was quite stubborn and that he shouldn't have been concerned about his well-being. However, he asked Cha Mu-hyuk if he was able to get some cores without being caught, too, which Cha Mu-hyuk replied that he immediately swallowed the core on the spot and made sure he took care of the corpse as well without anyone knowing, but Jiangmen warned him to be careful so that others don't find out. After a while, he told Jiangmen that he had seen the tyrant sword Lee Se-jun in the middle of the village that morning and that he appeared to have returned from the eternal sleeping forest. Lee Se-jun was able to climb his way into the top ranks after only 8 years in Lashan, and everyone was surprised to see such a high ranker in their village, Maudi. However, Cha Mu-hyuk heard people say that Lee Se-jun was only in their village to sell his trophies from his hunt in the eternal sleeping forest, but Cha Mu-hyuk knew that he wasn't strong enough to enter the eternal sleeping forest, and he also remembered that his teacher told him that those monsters in the eternal sleeping forest also have cores, but he told his teacher that he was quite tempted to try his luck in the eternal sleeping forest, but Jiangmen told him that he still had a long way to go, so he should focus on the goblins' cores for the time, and that if he became stronger then he can head to Big City, and that if Cha Mu-hyuk can get that far, his dream of leaving this place will not be a pipe dream, and that if that happens, Jiangmen will want him to pay a visit to his mother, but Cha Mu-hyuk responded that they were both going to get out of there together so that Jiangmen and him could see his teacher's mother together, to which Jiangmen only laughed and said he would wait for him. The next morning, Cha Mu-hyuk was seen walking out of the house, worried about the house's rent of points and wondering how he was going to pay it. Cha Mu-hyuk made his way to Maudi Village's great square central tower, a grand tower compared to the village's tiny size. As he entered the tall building, he noticed that he always felt uneasy and strange. At that moment, a golden-haired young lady with pointed ears suddenly appeared behind Cha Mu-hyuk as he scared Cha Mu-hyuk out of his wits, which made the young lady laugh at him, saying that Cha Mu-hyuk always had a miserable look all the time, so he wanted to see Cha Mu-hyuk's other facial expressions. The young lady is the general administrator of the Maudi village, is known by the name Demon Krusta. Demon Krusta asked Cha Mu-hyuk what he wanted from her as the ominous aura stretched out around her. The mark, a symbol on top of the heart for people who have been dragged to Hellish, serves as a storage for points and is the source of many conflicts, and as Demon Krusta snapped her finger, a blue glow came from the mark that was inscribed on Cha Mu-hyuk's heart. While retrieving the points that Cha Mu-hyuk had gathered to pay the rent on the house, Demon Krusta inquired if there was anything else. Demon Krusta then instructed him to leave, that she didn't want to see Cha Mu-hyuk's face any longer. Cha Mu-hyuk informed the demon, however, that he would return later in the evening to purchase alcohol. Later, Cha Mu-hyuk was seen charging at a goblin in the forest, killing it in one blow, and taking out the goblin's core, which he immediately swallowed, but he felt that the rate of growth was slow, and according to his teacher, the rate of growth of those supported by their clans and families is % per day, whereas the goblin core is only %. However, his teacher informed him that this was only for an average person, and that if it's a promising human it would be around %. But through their mark, humans in Hellish can see how fast they are growing. Strength, agility, endurance, and stamina are the starter categories, although there are other categories that can be added. These 4 are the fundamentals. Jiangmen added that there are precise numerical values that exist in percentages per rank, meaning if a person had up to % in level 7 then he will level up to level 6. Each category is graded starting from 7, with 1 being the highest. Everyone began at rank 7, but the precise numbers are problematic because they are distributed differently depending on each person's physical prowess at the beginning, which is typically around, but Cha Mu-hyuk is below average, which is at. Even though their names may have changed, the reason the people who were dragged to Hellish and came together as a group, clan, or family was survival. As time went on, the population grew significantly and developed into a society. The number of groups increased, and the rivalry heated up. Cha Mu-hyuk met his teacher, however, as the weak were being thrown into the mix, and if it weren't for Jiangmen, he would have perished as he wasn't scouted. The unfair part is that they must purchase growth potions in order to increase their normal stats, which are not based on experience gained from monster hunting and do not take into account all of their swordsmanship, combat skills, and personal abilities. Cha Mu-hyuk needed at least goblin cores per day to keep up with the others because he knew different ways to get stronger. The first urgent issue is the forced hunt, which is a special task that settlers like Cha Mu-hyuk are required to perform on a monthly basis. Although the task is dangerous and rewarding, the death rate is much higher because both the monsters and the other settlers from round are all dangerous. Cha Mu-hyuk decided to continue hunting if he wanted to survive the chaos. He decided to take a short break before extracting the cores because he was worn out from killing 2 goblins. Since Cha Moo-hyuk began working excessively 3 weeks ago because he had grown accustomed to it, he had amassed a sizable amount of cores and points. With these, he can buy the supplies his teacher will need for the forced hunt and perhaps even a better weapon for himself since the one he has been using is almost at its limit. A large monster appeared behind him and made a sneak attack on Cha Moo-hyuk as he was considering whether the sword he had earlier seen, which was worth points, would be suitable for him. However, Cha Moo-hyuk noticed the monster and quickly parried the attack. The big monster asked Cha Moo-hyuk if he was the one who had been slaughtering his race, but Cha Moo-hyuk was under the impression that the big monster is a goblin and that it can speak. The big monster saw Cha Moo-hyuk's expression and realized that he had never seen a goblin like it before, so it introduced itself as the defender of the goblins known as Chief Karakra. Upon hearing this, in retaliation for its race, Karakra had already charged at Cha Moo-hyuk at this point. Cha Moo-hyuk was flustered as he saw the insane speed Karakra possessed. Cha Moo-hyuk was shocked by the strong combat skills and strength the monster possessed. As Karakra swiped his claws at him, Karakra explained that it would give Cha Moo-hyuk a chance to attack him first because he was weak and that it had high expectations for him because he was the one who killed a significant portion of its race. Cha Moo-hyuk seized the chance as soon as it presented itself, charging the monster with a broad swing of his dagger in an effort to create a gap in which to slay it. He then swung his blade in the direction of Karakra's eye, but it blocked him with a swipe of its claws. Because the monster didn't consider its next move, Cha Moo-hyuk concluded that the only differences between it and the other goblins were their strength and speed. Cha Moo-hyuk was aware that the only reason he had been able to create such an attack was because of the fundamental concepts of daggers he had learned from his teacher. As soon as Karakra noticed this, it charged at Cha Moo-hyuk with its claws. However, Cha Moo-hyuk noticed that it was moving more quickly. They exchanged blows for a while, but Cha Moo-hyuk was always playing defense. Eventually, Karakra turned serious and struck Cha Moo-hyuk against a tree, breaking his ribs and causing him to cough up blood. The monster attempted to attack Cha Moo-hyuk with claws when it noticed how severely hurt he was, but Cha Moo-hyuk dodged at the last second. The monster then pursued Cha Moo-hyuk like an emissary of death, but it was able to catch up with him as it struck him again at the back. Cha Moo-hyuk took advantage of the opportunity to jump back with the force of the monster's attack, but the monster was surprised that Cha Moo-hyuk still continued to fight despite the heavy injuries he had sustained. However, Cha Moo-hyuk asked the monster how he was able to come Hellish, to which the monster replied that it got there willingly. The monster claimed that it had been hired by the demons as a mercenary. When Cha Moo-hyuk learned this, he became agitated and asked the monster to explain how he could leave Hellish. They were talking while fighting at the time, and the monster thought Cha Moo-hyuk had forgotten about his left arm, but Cha Moo-hyuk already knew this because he kicked the monster and then launched a barrage of dagger attacks at it, which caused the monster to be injured as well. The monster fell to the ground and said he was glad he fought without any regrets. As they both sat down, Cha Moo-hyuk offered the monster a cigarette out of respect. Cha Moo-hyuk had thrust his dagger at the monster when he saw that it had not attempted to block it. The monster claimed that he had friends and family as well, that the demon had tricked him with his cunning.
That's it for today. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.